Hey, hello there, it's me, Welshman, back again. Now, as you can see from the title of this video, it's going to be to my favourite crane operator, which is Level Earth Observer. But I would just like to take a moment to say this now, that this might very well be one of my last videos for a while. Some part due to financial issues. I have to move out of current accommodations I'm in, as I'm not working enough to have enough money to live the way I am at the minute. But also, I passed my interview to join the Royal Navy to become a submariner engineer, and they give you all the training and so on and so forth. And this is a very exciting time for me. I just have to work on getting fit, and I am not fit, to be quite honest with you, but it's getting there very slowly. So yeah, I've left it a bit late in my time. I am 30, but I've got years left ahead of me. So if they did ask me what submarine that if I could choose, it'll have to be, even though it's going to be replaced in a few years with a new British dreadnought class, is a submarine that's called HMS Vengeance. I'm like, I have to work. Just imagine telling your family and friends what a conversation starter that is. Yeah, I serve on HMS Vengeance. You can technically become an Avenger. You know, if anyone attacks this country, boof, done. You've been avenged. But enough of that. Right. This is some questions for Level Earth Observer, and basically some advice on some research to do. I'm not playing this video. I've looked through it quickly. You know, rocket scientist versus tower crane operator. Right, where he's asking a guy that apparently works for the Indian Space Agency to have a special rocket launch just for him to prove that the Earth is a globe. Even though, dude, right, the chap might work for the Indian Space Agency. He's an engineer. Do you not realise how many people are most likely above his station? I really don't think that space agency is willing to spend untold millions on a rocket just to strap some cameras to it, to launch it, to make more space debris, right? To basically prove that the Earth is globe to a idiotic crane operator like yourself. I don't really think it's going to happen. But you've got it in your head that if it doesn't happen, that means the Earth is flat, blah, blah, blah. Like your mantra that you keep on showing, Adam, right? You say, oh, the Earth is scientifically impossible. No, it's just that you are scientifically illiterate. It's as simple as that. Your logic is unfoundedly just weird. Basically, your mindset, your opinions about the globe are filled with so much misconceptions, right, and misunderstandings. I can't even begin to count. It's unreal. You just don't get it, and I am done dealing with you, to be quite honest with you, because you're just there sipping coffee, drinking a fucking can of cider on your tower crane, and you just don't give a shit, right? And it's like quite recently you asked we should go down up to the north and south and explore and find out for ourselves. Yeah, I'm sure the government's going to allow thousands of people to essentially go into an environment in Antarctica where basically it gets to a minus 80 degrees without the wind, right? And then basically explore a sort of wilderness which is essentially larger than all of Europe combined, and just explore just as like a fucking Sunday walk, allowing all of you thousands of people to die. Yeah, I don't really think they're going to allow you to do that. And basically, dude, it's tough shit. We've explored the north, we've explored the south, which is why the southern hemisphere and Antarctica is quite well fully mapped out. And thanks to basically other modern science and basically scans using many, concepts of technology that are completely above my mindset, they know how deep the ice is. It could be miles worth of ice, hundreds of thousands of feet in some places and miles in others, to where you get to the land masses of rock. This ice wall thing, argument from flat earthers, is so idiotic. It's an ice shelf. We know it is. Taking a picture of it does not prove the ice wall. Simple as that. right? And before I get started here, I'm not accepting your idiotic opinion that who cares what happens up in the sky. Actually, dude, it's really relevant because a certain model can actually accurately explain why we see what we see, and explains the actual physics involved and the actual, laws of motion involved and the physical aspects, right? Now, I'm going to start off with a question right here for you, bud, and no flat earther has ever answered this accurately at all, and I've never had a decent response from them. On Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, you name it. Nothing close. Right? Why, and I'm going to use the picture that you're using in your own video here, why is the sky going from blue to black? What's going on there, Adam? Come on, please do some scientific research. Come on, I'm waiting. What's going on in this picture? I'm not going to answer it for you, but what's going on in this picture? Please explain to me what's going on. Come on. I know I'm going to be waiting for a hell of a long time because he has me blocked anyway, which is why I need you people to try and get this video to him so he can unblock me like the coward that he is. Because, they blame other people for silencing. That's all he does is silence people. It's because he's done being corrected all the time. That's the issue with Adam. And again, right, my other question that basically goes from this sort of observation is, why do we have an horizon at all at this height? Right? Why does the sun, as you can see in this image, right, always seem to be directly above or in line with the horizon line? Why can't we see beyond it? If you get my point here, right? Why can't we see more land the other side of the sun, behind the sun, if you get my meaning? How come that's an observation that's never been seen? Yes, we see the sun above us, but that's not what I'm actually contemplating. And no, that hot spot that you're seeing in the middle of the screen, or whatever you want to call it, that is not proof that the sun is small and local. That is a notion that flat earthers made up and is based on absolutely nothing. Right? Like, here's another photo of some sort of thing I'm looking at, right? Why is the sky, this isn't during the day, why is it gone from blue to black? And this was a video done by a flat earther, again, at 121,000 feet. And I don't think that it's flat. It's a narrow angle lens, dude. You do realise this is only probably a few hundred miles of in here, to which then, visually speaking, this would only basically be curving down at millimeters per end. Every video you make, Adam, right? I'm just going to go back to a bit of a rant here. Every video you make, every observation that you seem to think is proof of the thing has been explained to you, but you just ignore it. Evident of the fact that you keep on re-uploading old videos. Hell, I've gone through your entire library of videos earlier, and you've actually uploaded the same video twice on the same thing, on your same new uploaded channel. It's unreal, it really is. So that's question number one. Question number two is, if it's not the Earth that's moving, what makes the sky move? And I'm talking about the night sky, stars and everything. What makes all that move? Right? If it's not the Earth that's moving. What physical component makes the sky move if it's not the Earth that's moving? Because in your logic, what we're seeing here, and I'll put the volume down here, right? This is a view out of a train window. Now, in your logic, it's the scenery that's moving, not the train. Right? We know why the scenery in the background is moving, because we'll be sitting in the train. But then, in your flat world logic, it's the sky that's moving. Well, how does it do that? In terms of the thousands of years worth of astronomy that's taken place over the years, Adam, we know why it does that. The globe model predicts this and explains this perfectly within the current rules of the laws of motion. Right? It's a lovely view. I would like to keep on going on that, but it's what, I'll just keep on going. And oh, I didn't go over it, did I? Oh, I don't believe that. Right, let's do this again. View from, no, Concorde flight. Look at some videos. I did have this up earlier. On board. There we go, that's the one. Right? Now this is another logic with you. Oh, everything has to be wobbling. Oh, my tower crane has to be wobbling. Well, check this out. This is a video I've actually shown you a numerous amount of times, but you just deflect on it all the time, right? Right? Currently, this Concorde is doing Mach 1.92 at 47,000 feet. It does go a bit higher later, right? Look at that miles per thing, right? This aircraft is currently doing 1,300 miles per hour. Now, watch what comes next in this video. Right, just go down. Look at that. They're enjoying a meal, lovely meal, and look at that glass of champagne. It's perfectly steady. Because when I did that pendulum on an aircraft video, where thanks to the shout out to the guys who did that, I knew for a fact that you'll have an issue with it slightly wobbling, even though an aircraft, unlike the Concorde, because the Concorde's very different, like a 747 or all those kind of other aircraft, will sort of sway from side to side, which will, and the thing is, that pendulum was actually swinging the opposite direction in which the aircraft was travelling, which you completely ignored that and just went, oh yeah, it's moving, that means you know, you've proved Earth is fake, the Earth is flat, blah blah blah, even though it didn't, Adam, right? Your immaturity on that subject beggars belief, right? So again, this observation right here, having this lovely meal with a perfectly still, it's not even shaking even slightly, and he's travelling at 1,300 miles an hour, which is actually 300 miles an hour faster than the Earth actually rotates. Basically, dude, we only feel acceleration, right? We don't feel, or we don't perceive speed. We perceive acceleration. If this aircraft essentially went, you know, he put his foot down and they accelerated by another 200 miles an hour, 300 miles an hour in the course of literally just a few seconds, well, you wouldn't do that, otherwise you'd die, but they accelerated by another 300 miles an hour in the course of literally like 20, 30 seconds, then yes, all that food will end up in his lap. But why isn't it doing that already? So this basically, and your other experiment, Adam, that you talked about that you were going to do on your tower crane, which is a video that you conveniently deleted because it showed your fucking ugly mug on it, right? Basically shows to me that your experiment is completely pointless and will not prove anything. Absolutely, it's such a simplistic sort of experiment that you think you're assuming that it's going to answer questions that it really isn't, right? Now, back on to like the movement of the sky, right? The globe model explains so many other observations, like let's say this star trails, for example. The northern star trail and the southern star trail, which both rotate in opposite directions to one another. How does that make sense, Adam, on the flat Earth model, right? And I would like to point out that everyone in the southern hemisphere, and I mean Australia, South Africa, South America, New Zealand, all of them look south or to the southern pole at night. They see this south celestial pole, which then, just to clarify, doesn't actually move across the sky. The center point doesn't move across the sky. It stays put until daylight takes over and you can no longer see it. Right? Please explain that on the flat Earth, Adam. The globe model explains this perfectly, which, again, right, thanks to Flat Earth WS for this, because these are brilliant, right, observations for this. This is the Big Dipper. So the center point is where Polaris would be, and you'd know that all observations here make perfect sense. Let's play this again. On the globe. See? The globe model, and in terms of its location, and you're looking in a certain direction, right, is perfectly explained on the globe. Again. To which point, what happened? So I'm just going to say this again to drum it in. Observations of what's happening in the sky is very important to determine what the shape of the ground of the surface that we live on is, because we're very small. We can't perceive the size of this planet. Basically boggles our mind, right? So here goes, the crux, the Southern Cross again. So this is everyone. Now you're looking down now to the south. Same sort of observations again. The globe Earth explains this perfectly. How, Adam? Okay? You're gonna actually do some research on this? Right? And again, right? Here is Orion. These are the observations. See, this is what you call it. These observations are only possible on the globe. And that the fact that the globe predicts and explains these observations absolutely perfectly, what more do you want? Okay. Now again, these are now going to be observations of planets. Now, before you chime in, oh, it's NASA CGI. No, every single one of these pictures I'm about to show you now are done by amateur astronomers. This is Saturn. Forgive me if I'm wrong, because I sometimes get mixed up between Saturn and Jupiter. I keep on forgetting which one's which. Okay, it's the names, but you know what I mean. But this is Saturn, right? This is Saturn, and I do believe some of its moons is capturing there. This is an amateur astronomer's image of Mars. It matches up almost perfectly with NASA's, doesn't it? I wonder why. Huh, This is Jupiter. Hell, this one even shows 4 of Jupiter's moons. And this one was taken by an individual called Mohammed on June the 11th in 2019. So only a couple of years ago, and it even shows some of its moons. Now, if this image was taken at different intervals, so basically a gap of a couple of weeks or different times of the year, whatever, it'd actually show these moons orbiting. And here's basically the phases of Venus, the transits of Venus. So basically it shows that what we're seeing isn't actually creating its own light. It's a planet that does exactly the same what the moon does, create its own moon phases. So my question is this: what the hell are these, Adam? If they're not planets, it's all CGI rubbish. And again, everything from our visuals to planetary orbits and observations is perfectly explained on the globe. Right? And as a parting sort of thing here, Adam, because you might not see me for a while, I want you to do some research. Right? Actually research just a few things, because this is something I wanted Flat Earth to do. Please research, like the lunar lander, for example, on Apollo 11 missions. Please actually look up how the lunar lander was made and what it's made of, because that would help you quite a lot. Okay? Second of all, your obsession with Mars. Oh, I don't care, so why should I? Well, if you don't care, why are you bloody watching it for? Right? If you don't like what you're looking at, I really don't think NASA is interested. Right? But the question is this. With Mars, please do some research on the current Mars rover. Because do you actually know at all what it's there to do? And what all of the scientific technology and apparatus there has on there? Because you seem to focus on the pictures. Yeah, the pictures are good, but the pictures are just a cherry on top of the cake. The pictures essentially can just basically give them a sort of observation to plan movements. So they go, oh, there's a massive cliff, 30 feet, like, let's say 300 feet that way. So basically we're only going to go 200 feet that way and then turn a sharp left so we can avoid the cliff. Alright, then the photographs are just lovely for scenery. Like what you seem to think with its wheels is there to keep observations on the wheels. So basically, are the wheels braking? So basically, let's say if the left wheel is sort of damaging, well, to prevent it getting damaged anymore, they'll see if they can prevent putting strains on it. So they'll only then turn in a certain direction more often to stop that wheel getting damaged. Stuff like this. Do some research on what the Mars rover's actually there to do. And then furthermore, just do a whole bereft of research on astronomy for me. You know, just do something. Rather than sitting in your crane and going, this doesn't make sense to me, so therefore it's wrong. I'm not accepting that bullshit from flat earthers anymore. Because so much stuff over the years has been championed by flat earthers that they have then immediately dropped. Like the gyroscope, Nathan Oakley, the Morgile, Globebusters, the lot of them. Right? Deeper to the Rabbit Hole, ODD TV, Eric Dubay, championed the fact that gyroscopes didn't pick up the motions. We've all told them it was because it's not a sensitive gyroscope enough. So then somebody did manage to get themselves a hold of a sensitive gyroscope. It picked up the 15 degree per hour drift. What did they immediately do? They basically completely ignored it and disregarded it. Bob from Globebusters actually said that, oh, we can't accept that. That's not how science works, you cretin. You don't just disregard a result to an experiment because it's not the results that you wanted. Nathan Oakley had almost videos for years on gyroscopes, but now he completely just throws it out the window, doesn't talk about it ever again. You know? And this, you know, so I'm just going to leave that there. This was a bit of a rant, so I hope everyone's having a good time. But then again, right, there's probably so many more questions I'd love him to ask. I'd ask him. Like, again, right, this is another question. Just before, this is a part one. This is one I always ask, and I still have yet to get a really good one from them. How does Earth's atmospheric pressure get less and less and less with altitude? Evenly and distributed evenly all over the entire planet, right? How does Earth's atmospheric pressure get less and less with altitude until there is no air pressure at all, i.e. a vacuum? Please explain what we're seeing when people are actually able to film the ISS. Or some people have actually been able to capture the reflections of light from other satellites. You know, I can talk about that video you did the other day about space debris. You need to understand that what space debris and satellites are not the same thing. Now, a defunct satellite, so a satellite that's no longer functioning, yes, that's space debris. But ones that are active, that's not space debris. And you did that video yesterday on let's go down to his fucking stupid channel. Amazon.
Caring about.
And he talks about Amazon here. Oh, they're just getting desperate. What desperate? I from this entire article that you read out, and I went to read it myself, I wasn't sensing any desperation from them whatsoever. Again, that's a narrative that you're making up. You're lying. You're bullshitting to your viewer base. And it's just quite sad to see that many people were that stupid that he's regaining the subscribers that he lost when his channel got taken down. But, you know, good on him, I suppose. You know, if he wants to talk bullshit. And I've lost. These people just make me lose the will to live. Like, hammer down. You know, they've been acting for years, blah, 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 blah. I wonder if there's any sort of names we can recognise. Oh, him? Oh, yeah, he's always a knobhead that comes on my channel. Beyond Infinite Planes. Like this chap. Beyond Infinite Planes. So, an infinite plane is perfectly reasonable and understandable. But infinite space? Oh, no. That's too bloody crazy. What did I see? Satire lights. Yeah, that's not how you spell it, so that joke is meaningless. But I've come to the conclusion with these people, right? Out of the hundreds of comments you get, most of these are just join in for the humour. They join in for a bit of the shits and giggles. They don't actually believe in the same way that Level Earth Observer does. They just don't. They're here for shits and giggles. If you actually had a chat with a lot of these people in the comment section, they wouldn't talk the way they do in the comment section. I know for a fact they won't. But I know there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the Globe Earth, I should say Globe Earth, but the scientific community at the minute with Hufford and Red's Rhetoric, but that's not my place to talk about that. Even though I've been around these guys for quite some time, you know, I used to do live hangouts with them quite a bit, but hey. Right, so that's me done. The only other way in the future that I should be able to make videos is probably upload some videos from my phone, and I can give you some updates on what's going on. And hell, after a few years of a short while of saving up some money, I might be able to get myself my hands on some new stuff. So some cameras, some sort of technology, some drones maybe. I don't think Wolfie's giving out any more free stuff. I'm not expecting him to, obviously, but hey. But no, so I hope everyone keeps safe. We're nearly at the end of there's nearly light at the end of this tunnel on this whole COVID thing. Pubs are starting to reopen. People are acting like it's no surprise. People are acting like this is their first drink just after the abolishment of prohibition, like they've never had a drink before, like you weren't able to get any from your local supermarket, which is basically why pubs are dying in the first place. But hey, that's a topic for something else. All right, so I hope everyone keeps safe. Have a lovely afternoon, and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.